I am not suicidal and one of the happiest, healthiest people you will meet. I have full faith in God and Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. As a sinner, I am only saved through his grace and mercy. With that said, if something happens to me, I ask you all to find out which foreign government or powerful people would take heinous actions to stop the information from coming out. Not only about this issue, but because of the truth that I have been speaking. The people will understand what I'm saying. That tweet wasn't from some conspiracy theorist. That tweet wasn't from some kid hanging out on the internet posting myths. That tweet wasn't even from some individual that just happens to have outsized influence on politics, but essentially does nothing but travel the world and sow division. No, that tweet was from a member of Congress. Now, a member who does align herself with the far right of a political party, a member who has peddled in theories and sayings that are hurtful to groups of people. However, it does not erase the fact that an official elected member of Congress felt the need to come out and say there is a potentiality that a group or groups of people want me dead because of what I am trying to expose. And that's not weird to anybody? Have we gotten so numb to the craziness of the world that nobody is going, wait a minute, did a member of Congress just acknowledge that there are people acting in their own interest and murdering individuals in our country? Now, let me be clear. Obviously, that happens all the time. We're very well aware that there's a history of groups doing illegal things and taking out people. What I am saying is that it is now officially being recognized by a member of Congress that there are a powerful group of people, an elite group of people, for conspiracy theorists, a cabal of people who are in their own interest killing people who speak out against their desires. That doesn't make you go, forget the face behind who's saying it. A member of Congress is acknowledging that there are people that are manipulating the strings of our government and they will kill you if you don't go along with their agenda. When she's talking about a foreign government or a powerful group of people stopping her from getting information out, the specific information that she's referring to is the fact that her and three other Republicans, Thomas Massie, Nancy Mace, and Lauren Boebert, have been working along with Democrats to force a vote on the House floor to release all of the information, everything to deal with the investigation into Epstein and his sex trafficking deal to the public. Now, one of the most interesting things that MTG has said is that she has never faced such intense pressure from a group when it comes to standing down on this vote, which is very similar to what a certain attorney general said when it came to the original prosecution of Epstein. He said that the only reason he gave Epstein the sweetheart deal, the deal that basically protected him from ever being prosecuted again, not only him, but any individual that was in his network, was that he faced an intense pressure. And I can't remember if he specified whether it was the government or not, but he alluded to a group stopping him from prosecuting Epstein. It is up to you to decide which group that was. But we go back to her original tweet where she says a foreign government. If you go back to the Republican primaries, one of the individuals, Vivek Ramaswamy, went up on stage and basically accused every single one of his fellow members on that stage debating with him of being bought by lobbying groups. To me, is the one thing that stood out about this individual is that he was coming out to call out the hypocrisy in Congress and the fact that a lot of them on both sides of the aisle work for lobbying groups, not the people. But there's one group in particular, AIPAC, that seems to have a huge influence. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the word AIPAC, which I think at this point everybody is, that is the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, a pro-Israel lobbying organization. I'm not here to spread disinformation. I'm not here to spread hate. I've got nothing negative to say about this group. However, I do want to provide some truth. And so one of the fascinating truths that we've seen played out is if you are not openly in support of this group, or if you speak out against anything that is in this group's interest, and this group's interest is Israel, they will spend an exorbitant amount of money to get you out of Congress. We've seen this literally play out, and I'll go to Politico here, where an article by Ali Mutnick and Sarah Ferris was released in 2024. It says progressive Democrats just watch pro-Israel super PACs spend jaw-dropping sums to wipe out two top liberals in Congress. Leaders fear they have no way to stop it from happening again in 2026. These groups Chiefly, the American Israel Public Affairs Committee's Super PAC spent a combined $25 million on ads to defeat Representatives Jamal Bowman and Cori Bush. Now, Bowman and Bush both crumbled after they spoke out in criticism of Israel's war with Hamas. Bernie Sanders has come out and said, I think they smell success when it came to defeating these two Congress members. The point is not just them going after Jamal and Cori, which is terrible. It is the intimidating presence they have over every member of Congress. Every member of Congress, not Democrats, not Republicans. Every single member seems to fear this one particular organization. And that to me is at the minimum weird. So then we go back to MTG, who again suggests that there's a foreign government or powerful group of people who are taking actions to stop information from coming out. Senator Ted Cruz then hops out and decides to respond to MTG's tweet by saying the following. And this is from Newsweek by Khalida Roman, where Senator Cruz said, why do crazy people keep thinking the Jews are trying to kill them? Greene has already responded to that comment in saying, he has the gall to falsely accuse me of attacking Jewish people. That charge is disgusting and utterly false. He then said, let me be crystal clear. I will never baselessly attack a group of people, but I will and must call out foreign governments, foreign influence, and the special interest that bankroll politicians. If that upsets Ted Cruz or his AIPAC donors, so be it. Now, we could do a very long talk on AIPAC, its formation, the money it's got going to every member of Congress who, including presidents, have been in direct connection with and support of this organization. We could do a long, deep dive on the special privileges that individuals of this country receive even after being convicted of a crime. But we're not going to do that because, again, it gets into dangerous circles, and I'm not talking about being fearful of a particular group. I don't believe in that shit. What I am saying is I don't want to get into the game of spreading falsehoods, things that I don't understand, things that I don't know, because that is exactly how a particular party rose to power in the 40s, and you got a terrible tragedy on your hands. But I will say this. It is weird that a member of Congress felt the need to say, I am not suicidal. A member of Congress felt the need to say that there is a powerful group of people operating in the halls of our Congress, doing what they are wanting to do, not by the will of the people, but for their own self-interest, and that this group of people specifically are not of this country. I don't really find myself aligning with anything MTG says or does. She is clearly somebody who does not have my best interest at heart. However, I'm not blinded enough by whatever you want to call it, differences, to not pay attention to when somebody is saying there are foreign entities at work here, foreign entities that are potentially willing to do harm to people if they do not align with their interest. And right now their interest is, we don't want that list released. More individuals should be talking directly to her and asking, what the hell does this mean? Because this needs to be stamped out immediately. Never seen so many individuals sweat so hard over a non-existent list.